So in imaging, what we need to do first to start the imaging processing is selecting the file or uploading the image that we want to process. So first we are going to create a panel. Oh, sorry, this is stuck. Okay, a panel that will be called select image selection. You can call it however you want, but this is, you should always call it in a way that you know what it is about. Image selection. So for image selection, now we have to think intuitive. So how will you use an app and know that you have to upload a file just by clicking on it? First, we are going to add a button that says select image. And just to make sure we have selected the right file, or in case we want to write directly the name of the file and the path, we can add a edit text field. We can write it here as path. Okay, let me see. Okay. And finally, we will have a button called process to start the processing of the image. So what we want to do with this is select the image. Then here we will have the path of the image selected in case we want just to modify it. And finally, process it. Now we have how it will look like. What we want is for these buttons to actually do the things that they say they do. So that's when we need to start coding. So you go from design view to code view. So what MATLAB already creates all of this for you. So this is all the code for just adding the components that you already add. If we want for select button to have callback function to do an action the moment we push, we add callback. We are hitting callback and we add the function that will make it work. So we go to select image button. And then here it says button push function. So the moment that this button is pushed, something will happen. So we say add callback, and it will immediately add it here. So this will run the moment you push the button, and now we need to tell it what will happen when you push the button. In this case will be that you will select the file. Okay, so to select the file, we are going to use this function, GUI, UI get file. This will open a window just to select the file from your folder. And inside this, we will insert the specifications of which files we wanted to look for. So to select this, first we put the curly braces, and then inside we write it as a string. So this is the format. Let me see. Where is that G? So this is one of the images format. Then semicolon, and this PNG. So these are the two formats that we will allow the file to select. And this we will allocate it to two variables. One that is called path, to see the path of the file, another that is the actual name of the file. And finally, what we are going to do is put them together, the path and the file. And for that, you use full file. This is to give you the full file name. And you have path, comma, file. This will put all the file path together. But what we want to do is to be able to visualize that path in this text field. To do that, we need to allocate that path file, that path name to this component. So we start with app. So we're going to allocate and we start with app. Everything, all the variables of each component in this GUI are inside app. So you always have to write app, luego dot, and you see that here it gives me options. So you can start with tab, you can start going to which ones you have. In this case, we want to go to the path edit field because it's the one that we just selected. The path edit field is this one because it's called path, and then we want to change the value of it, the text value. So we have to do one more dot and get into the value of this field. So this will allow us to visualize the full path inside this text box and make sure that's the one that we want to use. Okay, how are you doing now? Okay, so I'm going to run this so you can see what we have done and done until now. Okay, so we are going to save the code first. We can say coding is a tool. Okay, so it always takes some time some more time the first time it runs. Okay. Okay, so here we have everything we added, and we are going to do select image and see if we have done everything right. Select image. Okay. Yes, and then it opens the UI get file function is the one that allows us to open this. So here we are in coding is a tool folder and we select the image that we want to process. In this case, we can select this one that is really nice. This is something that happens because of that function. It closes the GUI. But you can see here that it already select the path. Something that I see here is that the name is before all the rest of the path. So it means that we should change the places. So we go back to our app designer, and here instead of path and file is file and path. We're going to run it just one more time. select image, the same one, open, then it closes, and then here. So now we have the right path for the image, ending with the name of the file that we are going to add. So what do we want to do now is process and that something happens. So what we're going to do first is visualize the image just to make sure it's the right image that we want to process. To be able to visualize that image, we need to add to our GUI, to our graphical interface, an element to be able to see this image. So first, we add a panel just to have everything organized. Panel for the raw image, the image that we just uploaded. And we can also add another panel. You can do Control C, Control V to do it. You can add another panel. And in this other panel, we will see the image process. So here, just to have it the same size, kind of. Okay, you can do that. And here, to be able to visualize something, we need to add an axis. Axis is what allows you to do plotting in graphical interfaces. So we just draw the axis from there. Wait for it to be visualized. And then another one for the process image. So here we can see this panel we are going to call raw image. That will be exactly the image that we uploaded. And this process image, that will be the one that we process using MATLAB. So now that we have this, we can tell it process. And when you process, plot here the image that we just uploaded here. So we are going to go to code view and add a callback for process. So the moment I press process, we should be able to visualize the image in raw image panel. So callback, add one. The component that we want to add the callback is to the process button. The callback names is process button push. So all. So what we want to do in this point is visualize the image. How do we do that? First, we need to read the image. This is exactly what we did in the last class. And we are going to allocate it to a variable, to a property actually, because we want to be able to share this within different callback functions. So the way to add a property is go to properties, add, and here it already creates for us. So the only thing that we need to do is write the name that we want to call to the property. I want to call it images, because that will be where I store all my images. Doing this, we have this property, or you can say variable, that is shared within the different functions. Now we come back to the process button push, and we are going to allocate the matrix of this image to this property just created. So we can go app that, or to add any, to access anything within this app, you always have to do app first, then dot, and you do images. This is the property that we just created. Then dot, we are going to create some field inside images just to be able to have everything organized. So inside images, we want to do raw image. Raw image is the image exactly as we uploaded. So inside the app, we have images, and inside image, we have raw image. So what we're going to do here is allocate this image. The function to do this is im read read the image, of course. And here, what we're going to have is the path of that image. So for that, we are going to copy this here, because this contains the full path of the image that we selected with UI get file. So now what we did was allocate the matrix of this image into raw image of images. So once we do that, we need to show this image in show. It's really good names. So here, the difference with GUI and MATLAB, simple MATLAB, is that here you have to always to tell it where do you want to plot this image. In our case, we want to plot it here in this component that we just added. We don't want to just pop up something else in the window. So how is this component called? App UI access. So what do? We pass the access. So then we go app UI access, and with tab you can just go and click and autocomplete, and then so that's the way that you're telling it you are going to show this image in this access. Now we need to know which image, and this image will be the one that we allocated in raw image of images. So we have here, and here we only need to add parent, that is telling you that the app UI access is the parent. Okay, so now we have this. We are going to see if the processing button works. So run again. So we have the same that we did before. We have select image. We select the same one this time. And it closes, and we open it, and we do process. It will take some time because it takes time to upload an image. And just wait. Okay, so we saw here that the image that we uploaded. However, we don't want title Y or X or Y. We don't want that to show there. Title we want, but X and Y we don't. So first, we are going to add the title that we want. That could be raw image. So we come back to the app designer, go to code view, and add title. So here the difference in GUI is that you have to go to the properties of the component. So we go into app, we go to UI access, the one that we just selected, that title, because UI access has a title. We go here, and in this case, this we discover is, you can see it in the inspector. You have title that string. That's the way title is greeting here. So you have title string. If you don't put a string, it will give you an error. And here you can add the name of the title that you want, that it will be raw image. Done. And then the X label and Y label, this is in the inspector part. We're going to just delete it because we don't want this showing. Let me see if it deletes. Yeah, it deletes here, so it means it won't be showing. Okay, so we can run one more time and see if we have the title. So again, we go select image. Have this open and then process. So here you see we don't have the X and Y and we have the title raw image. So the moment we do process, this happens. Okay. We have this and we can go ahead and now do some of the process of image processing. Okay, so to decide this, we will have first another panel. This panel will be to select which processes the image will go under to get processed. We can take this a little up. Oh, wait. Where is the, sorry. Okay, so here is this panel. So in this panel, we will do the processing of the image. And we are going to call it settings for image processing. As you saw before, all the settings for image processing are based on one of the colors, red, green, or blue. So first, what we're going to select is which color we want to process. So here we say select color. We are adding a list box, select color, and giving specific items. So here, this will be red, this green, and this blue. Oh, and we are going to delete this one. Okay, so here we can select which color we are going to process. And as I hope you remember, we had 3 ways of processing the image. So Control C, Control V, Control V. Oh. Try to make it look a little nicer. Okay, so the first process that we have is single channel. That is in the process that you only see the red, the blue, or the green. Then you have binary image that you see just white and black based on the threshold that you choose. And finally, subtract color, where you take out one color of the whole image. For binary image, we need a threshold. And for that threshold, we prefer in this case to use a slider. So we have a limit for this. Okay, and the slider, we are going to set all these properties here in the inspector. So you click a slider, and in the inspector, we are going to add a default value that is 0.5, and then the limits for the threshold. Tom, the limits go from 0 to 1, right? To the threshold. Okay, so limit 0 and 1. And here we can see from 0 to 1, and the default is 0.5, that is in the middle. So now we have everything, the color and the threshold, and then the process that we want to do. So first we're going to do single channel, since single channel is the easier one. So the idea is when you press single channel, you are able to visualize here in this access the image of single channel. So we go to code view and we're going to add a callback to when you press the single channel button. So single channel button callback is called single channel button push, you add the callback. So when we push that button, we are going to use the process. Okay, let me see. Let me see this. Okay, so first we need to know which color is the one that we will be processing for the single channel. In this case, we are not creating a property, just a variable inside this function because we don't need to know this color outside the function. So we go color, then go app, that, we go to see the list box that we created with red, blue, and green. How was this called? Select
color list box.
Select color list box. So that's why you do tap and you can find this auto completion. And here you get the value from that box. Okay. Since the value for this box is a string, we need to add an identifier to be easier for us to work on. So items data, we have 0, 2, and 3. It means that red will be 1, 1, 2, and 3. Red will be 1, green 2, and blue 3. Okay, so here if it reads red, it will get a color equal 1. Then we have to start the process. This is the same process as you saw before in the last class. So you have app, images, and we're going to create a new field that is called channel. Oh, okay. Images, we initialize images properties with uppercase, so we have to write it exactly the same. And in that property, we create one called channel. So here we're going to allocate all the information of the image just for the color selected. So we go, okay, so this is the logic explained in last class. So you go images, tab, that, raw image. Okay, raw image. This is the complete image that we uploaded, and is shared with us because it's a property.
This is para el binary. This is para el single channel.
Yes, I'm doing single channel.
Okay.
Okay. So first we multiply by 0 just to get the same dimension. So now we have the matrix with the same dimensions as raw image, but all of them are 0. So that then we use the same one and we put app, images, that channel equal to So what we are doing here is changing just the color that we want to show.
The channel.
So here, the color that we want to display will be allocated on that part of the matrix, and the rest of it will be 0. Images, that raw image. And here we are going to pass just the color that we want. So now we have this. So now we have the matrix only with that color, and what we want to do is to show. So we use image, and the way that we need to do it is first we pass the matrix that we just created. That's in this case it's app images channel. This is the okay. Done. And we go to do the same as before, parent, to tell it the parent component, and this will be app that UI access, but it will be access to instead of one. UI access to, because it's the one that is next to it. This should allow us to see the process image. So we are going to run now. So here we go again, select image. We selected the image. We do process, and we get the raw image. Oh, wait, see, it's not here. Let me see something. Because okay. Yeah. So what happened in this case is that the panel that we created is not inside the tab that we created before. So that's the reason why it's not showing. This is the panel. We're going to make it a little smaller just to see if now it understands. That one, but first we're going to select the color that we want. We can start with red. Single channel. Oh, okay. So tell us there is an error. Let me see. Index in position 3.
No está detectando color como un string, no como un value.
Oh, okay, okay. So what happened in this case is that you remember that for this text box, we select items data 1, 2, 3. For some reason, we tried this before, and for some reason, just changing it in the inspector doesn't work. So what we need to do is set it up in a startup function. And I didn't want to get into that because it's more complicated, but we can do it here. Here, function, callback, input. Let me see if we can create here. Okay, so here you create a callback and you go to start a function. This function will be run the moment the GUI starts. So here you can set up all the default values or anything you want to have from the start. Or callback, and here we are going to see what we should add for this. So we do add app.select color, that this is the list box that we have. What? Sorry. App.select color, list box, and then here we go to items data, and we can assign the value there. So in our case, we want for red to be 1, for green to be 2, and for blue to be 3. So that's what we are doing here. Now we can see if this works. We do select image. We can select any of them, but I will keep this one. And then here we do process to see the raw image. So here we have the raw image. We select red in this case and do single channel to see. And here we can see just the red channel of this image. The good thing about this GUI is that you can compare this easily. So now if we want green, just green, we select green and then do single channel again. It's weird that it's taking so much time. It's working, but it's taking so much time. So green and then blue. So that's the reason why GUI helps in image processing, is because you can compare easily and you don't have a lot of windows of images open that are hard to see. Here we have blue. And then we have this image in blue. Okay, so now we are running out of time, right?
Subtract the color.
Okay, we're going to do just subtract color, and then we will finish the video. The video of when you leave, just for you to have it in the recording. Okay, so we go again to here. We already have everything in the designer, and we go to subtract color. We create a callback to subtract color. So subtract color bottom, the callback, this is the name of the callback. We add it and we can start working on it. Let me see what is. So okay, so first we do the same. We do color, so we can see the color from the list box. we have to do this for sure because this is like checking what is the color at this moment. And then for this one, we create a different field inside our image property. So we go up that image, just that is our property, and then we create one called filter because it's filtering out the color. Instead of showing us just the color, it's filtering it out. So we go up that images, that raw image. Tab doesn't work for beyond images. Raw image. Then what we are going to do is subtract the image color that we selected. So we have the same, and we are going to subtract just that matrix with the color. So we keep all, and we put here color. So it will subtract the matrix of this color from each one of the other colors. And what we need to do here is do image SSC. Is image SSC? Yeah. Is image SSC. That is the same that we use in the Tuesday, but now this will be modified with the axis that we need to plot. So we go to app.UI axis, UI axis 2, right? Because is in the process image, not in the raw image. And we pass the matrix that we just modified to be able to subtract the color. So it will be plotting this in this axis. And finally, we need to tell it how to display this. So we go to UI access to that color map. Color map equal hot. This is the scale in which it will display the subtract color. Yes. We are going to run now and see. Oh, wait. Here, select image once again. Go here, we open. We have the selected image, we process. We select the color that we want to take out. In this case, we're going to do green. And then do subtract color. So here you can see the image with the green subtracted. And as explained last time, everything that is white is hide in red. It's hide in all the colors. So in this case, this is subtracting all the white parts and putting them as black. This way you can subtract a color and see better all the other features of the other colors. And in this case, even take out the white. That way you can create more contrast. So for now, we're going to leave it here and we are going to finish it after. But you have single channel and subtract color binary image. We will do it later. Okay. So now with all of this said, Tomás wants to say something first.
No, sobre el PowerPoint.
What?
¿Quieres que diga sobre el PowerPoint?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tomás wants to show you something.
So the slide, can you put it in presentation mode? The slides you're seeing right there, they are some of our work. Actually, these two are from Samantha's work. Can you play to the video? Just click
Yeah.
spacebar.
Mm.
You see, we got everything we're showing right now is from MATLAB. So that's a video we took of a plot. That's a class project. And the one on the left, it's an REU project that Samantha did 2019, which is really good. If you go to the next slide, these are two from me. The image on the left, we made it a GIF. It's actually a video from another application from SolidWorks, and we made it a GIF. So you see, it's just some way to do it. You can do that in MATLAB very easily. And on the left is the same with ImageSC, what we just did, but I did it for my research project. So as you can see, there are many applications for this imaging side in engineering all the time.
Okay, so now we are going to work in the binary image section of the imaging GUI. Here we are in the binary image button, and we are going to develop the code of what should happen once this button is pressed, is pushed. So first we need to create a function that to add this process. So first we go to callbacks. We add a new callback. In this callback, we select binary image button. That is the one that we want to add the process. We select add callback, and then we have created the binary image button push function. Here we are going to add the code that we already explained in the imaging section. So first, what we need to do, select which color we want to do binary, and also select the threshold that we are going to use for this code to work, for this binary image to get displayed. So first, the color, we will be getting the color from here from the select color text box. So we can go here. This will be the same that as we did for the other ones. So we can just copy it. But doing it here forces the code to check which color is selected now. Now we go up dot select color list box dot value. So we're going to know if it's red, green, or on blue. Now we need to know the threshold. For the threshold, we use this slider. So what we want to know is which threshold the user selected. So we can go here, the slider. The slider is called up, that slider as shown here. So we can go here, up, that slider, that, oh wait, let me see. It's better to put tab just to get the right name. And then after that, we select the value of the slider, that value. This will tell us if it's 0.5 is the default, but then it will tell us which one we need. So here we start with the process that we already explained. So we go up that images that okay, wait. In this case we have images with a uppercase A. Then we go binary image. We are going to create a new space within images that is called binary image, just to have everything organized. And here we are going to have values from 0 to 1 based on the threshold and the color we selected. So here we use the function image binarize out And in binaries, we introduce the image with the color. Here, add that images, that raw image, and here we select the color that we want. And then color. So if we want to see the binary image of red, we select red. And here we add the threshold that we are going to be using. And now we just do in show to show the result from in binarize function. And in show we have add that images, that binary image that we just created. Image parent. We're going to select the parent object that in this case is the access. Parent add the GUI access to, because GUI access is for the raw image and GUI access to is for the process images. Finally, we do add that GUI access to that title, just to get the right title. We always do tab. And here we add a string. So that's how this is organized. As you can see, I will show you later. And then here we add the title for the image that will be just binary image. Okay, so now we can run the code and see if we have everything right. First, we select the image. This one. Process. Here we have our raw image. We select red and 0.5 as the default for the slider and binary image. Here we can see the binary image for this. So now we can see all of them. Single channel, subtract color. We can change the threshold and see green and the binary image. Change to blue and change the threshold and see the binary image. Oh wow, because the threshold is too small. Here with a higher threshold we see even more. So now what we are missing only is to take out X and Y, because we just want to see the image process. Sorry. Close. Oh, okay. To take out the X and Y, we go to the access, and here in this inspector we can change the properties. So here in X label, we just delete it You can do this by code too, but it's easier like this. And you can visualize it. So we took out Y, and now it does not have either X or Y. And here in title, you can see that it's always title that string for you to add the title. So we are going to see it one last time. Green, binary image. Oh, sorry. We have to do process first. Then green and binary image. Oh, this one looks nice. So now we have here the imaging GUI. As you can see, is a lot easier to compare everything because you can do single channel, subtract color, and all of this at once. Here we have the blue subtracted, and here just the red channel. One good thing about this is that you can do export and save the image as you want, as PNG or JPG. So that way, when you see an image that is useful for you, you can just save it from here. And then later on, we will continue with the plotting GUI. For now, this is all for imaging.